Today I'm going to be looking at the Zvezda Soviet Heavy Tank KV2 1/100 scale. This is for the Art of Tactic game, which is obviously released by Zvezda, that doesn't really get that much publicity and doesn't seem to be that well known, but for a World War II miniature game I think it's actually one of the best. And anyway, I'm going to take a quick look at this model. I did buy this one a while back and just wanted to put a bit more information out there for people interested in collecting these Zvezdas, either for the Art of Tactic game, which I recommend everyone checks out, but these models can also be used for Flames of War as well, which is also quite good. So clearly on the back, here we go, on this KV2, we've got a few angled shots of what the monstrous KV2 Heavy Tank looks like. And yeah, it tells you it's a new material, easy to glue, easy to paint, but you don't actually have to glue it. I tend to, just to make it a bit more secure, but it's this new sort of snap and fit, so that's not really, the glue's not a big thing really. Contents: 1 unpainted tank, 1 unit flag, and 1 unit card. Right, so there we go. So I've already built this tank, by the way, so I'm just sort of, obviously you get the sprue that would come through, and the tank itself really is quite good. You get a little instruction thing here. It basically tells you that generally Art of Tactic say all these things are built for their Operation Barbarossa 1941 game, which is their main game, but they've made loads of different ones as well, like expansion packs where you can have battle boats, trains, and all sorts of stuff. And there's one I've got my eyes on called Blitzkrieg, which has got the British Army against the Germans in it, which is quite good. But here we go, here's the instructions for putting it together. So you've got, like, in the top you've got a main sort of chassis part here, and then you've got your front armour, your back armour, your top, your sides go on. Then you've got a little bit of the end goes on the end of the barrel there. And that bit connects to a basic piece, like a main core piece of the tank's main body, which is made up of 2 parts, just snap together like that, and then you get the wheels just click together at the side, and you've got yourself a nice, really quite detailed KV2 model, which is very nice. Here's the card that you get with it. This is the very all-important card. I see a lot of videos where they go, yeah, you get this card with it, it's nice, and then they throw it away. And it's like, hang on a minute. This is the most important part of the game. Other than this fella, of course. Which we're going to get to very, very soon. Wow, I was really hoping my camera would be better than this. Anywho, this card. Right. This is an all-important card. This governs your tank and all its stats, and you write on it in a non-permanent pen that just sort of wipes off like a board marker or something like that. And what I like about it is that you get to actually count the bullets as they go down, which I think is really kind of cool, because you don't get that in many World War II modelling games, the actual counting of the bullets, so you need another truck to kind of come and rearm it and stuff. And I like that, it's one of the things. Your helmet is like your defense. It's not just the armor of the tank itself, it's the skill of the crew there. So if you've got like a higher ranked crew, the number will go higher. So if you get hit, say 6 times, you get 1, 2, 3, 4 comes off that first, and then these are how many sort of lives or units you have in your tank group. So if I did 6, those 4 would come off, then that would go off, and that would go off, that leaves you with 1 left, which affects your fortitude test is here. And the number starts 9, you have to shake 2 dice to get under a 9 to make sure your men have still got the stones to stay together in this battle. So yeah, that's that. Here you have the range of things. It's all done on a hexagon battle board. So this star means it's your hand-to-hand combat rating. You've got 2, 2, 2, 1. What that means is that however many dice you're shaking, you need to get a 1 or a 2 to hit. So it's the lower numbers get you the accuracy in this game, which kind of makes it a bit more fun. It's kind of turned the whole thing on its head, really. Here you have, these are the amount of dice you roll. See, each one of these lines represents one of these tanks. So you hypothetically got 3 tanks in a unit here. Or you can say it's got 3 life points or 3 damage points. And say I came across a unit of infantry. I had a full amount of tanks there. Because each time you cross one of those out, you have to cross that out as well. So you get weaker and weaker with each tank that you lose. So say I was coming across this infantry, I had full tanks, I would shake 12 dice. Now I had 12 attempts to get a 1 or a 2, or just a 1. And that is literally how you hit. And obviously, and other things down here, if you fail the fortitude test, say you've got 2 dice and you have to shake a 9 because you've been hit or something, and you shake a 10, you're then suppressed, which means you tick this box here. And that means you can't do anything for the remainder of that go because you're too busy being scared out of your wits because there's loads of bullets and stuff hitting the side of your tank. Which is fair enough. And at the end of the whole first round, you can reshake it and generally you get your tank back again. This one is if you want to hide the tank. If you want to do an ambush. And your orders for all this stuff, so you know what's going on. This is the great thing about how this game works. Is on the back here. Right, so you've got, I picked the KV2 because it's a good one to actually explain because it has very simple instructions. Here, see, at the beginning of a turn on Art of Tactic, you make your orders secretly. So your opponent doesn't know what's going on. And the game is played out in a set what your order you have picked. The game runs from defend order, suppression fire order, open fire, assault, ambush, special orders, and move out. And then you do a suppress check at the end. And there's your time boxes. Right, so you look at the back of this KV2 again. You've got, let's start here. This one is the defend order. That means your tank will sit and it'll face a certain hex, so you write down which face it's going in because that affects what it can shoot at, and then its range. So you could have it so that it'll only fire defense shots. It's only one range, so it'll only shoot at anybody that comes really close to it, or you can have it do the full 3 because then you still get your full 1-2 hits, or you can do it as your 4, so you need to mark that down there as well. This one is your ambush one. So you write down what square your tank will be in, because when it goes into ambush, you take it off the board, so no one can see it, but it's written down on there, and that gives you the same thing, the range of it, and which hex it's facing. This, if you tick this one, this is your basic fire. You tick that, and you write down who or what square you're firing at, hexagon, sorry. This is close assault. This, you can move 2 hexagons to get into your close assault with another tank or unit. Just tick that and write down where you're going. I tend to use, whenever I tick for this, I tend to use this because it's easier for writing in, but this is meant to plan your movement. There's your movement. Tick that. This tank, the KV2, can move 3 hexes, which is actually really good. That's probably quite a fast unit, which is pretty interesting for quite a heavy tank. So you just write down the hexagons that you're going to move through, so everything is planned. This is in case your tanks clash with your opponent, so you might end up in a situation where you're actually driving to a combat or something, and you have to do fortitude tests and stuff to see who gets the position. This is loading up. If you get a truck to come up to this tank with weapons or ammunition in it, it takes 2 goes to fill your tank up. Or you can go to ammunition depot and do the same thing. This is a regroup. If you have another unit of KV2s, say this one has had 2 lots KV2s knocked off it, which means it's quite weak. Then you've got another group of KV2s over here that only has has 2 left in it. You can actually merge them together and make one solid unit again, which is kind of really cool. But that's the basic orders for tanks. And that's it. So, this, the card that people throw away, this is all-important card. Which is really, really quite good. And here's the tank itself. I'll try. Okay, this is a painted version. As you can see, it's paint job's not amazing, but it works. See, it's really quite a nice model. I actually really like the KV2. It's actually one of my favourite tanks. Excuse the cobwebs. You got a little machine gun thing popping out the back there, which should probably make more of a cool thing on Flames of War. For Art of Tactic, all your sorts of attacks are all taken into consideration and worked into the card rules. I just find Art of Tactic a bit more funny. Tanks have got more sort of gumph about them. It's very hard to just take one out in one shot. Oh yeah, usually with these tanks, I should say, whichever Zvezda model you get, they usually come with like a flag that comes out the back there, which you can write what the unit is and what number it is to correspond to your card. And so you know what it is, but you don't actually have to do that. If you get more than one of them, you can kind of paint a little 1 or a little 2 somewhere indiscreet on the back, so it doesn't kind of affect the game too much. And I tend to play it like that because I like it to look a bit more realistic as a modeler that I am. So yeah, that is the KV2 Zvezda Art of Tactic. And it's mad, I can't even see this sort of web thing. And it's stuck to the back of my tank. Oh, now it's there, look. Oh, it's not good. But there, yeah. I like this. This is good. So Здравствуйте, friends. This is a nice piece of Russian kit. Yeah. There we go. And the thing about these things is that these tanks, I mean, they cost like £3 or something. Like $3.50 if you get them on eBay. And to be honest, I think they're worth it, every penny. It's about time we came across a games company that was kind of that produces very good, high quality, detailed models at a price that you can afford. You don't have to like sell a kidney or anything to actually just purchase a few tanks. This is actually a really good value for money, and the game is excellent. It really is. So yeah, that is the KV2 Russian Heavy Tank, and it's a beast when it plays. Cool. Thank you for watching, guys. I bought a few more bits and bobs as well, and so I will give those a go and in later videos. Thanks for watching. See you on the battlefield.